We are talking about the Breakfast Club today. Top hot topics.
It's Thursday, August 11th?
Yeah. So they started. I'll just go in. It don't mean whatever they started off in. I just go in whatever order I want to.
Okay.
So they started off with I'm starting off with Lori Harvey, and they talking about
the store.
Steve Harvey's daughter. Y'all know she dated everybody's mama. So she was on a talk show, and she was just talking.
Everybody and their mama, really.
So she was on a talk show, and they basically was just, talking about her dating life or whatever. And she said she dates on her own terms, and if somebody don't deserve her, she move on. So, and she young, so
How
she
old
can.
Is she?
It's like 20-something, maybe. I don't know.
Is she dating anybody now?
No, I guess not. We don't know.
What brought her
She
up?
just broke up with Michael B. Jordan. So
I know. What brought her up?
She was on a talk show, and they just bringing her up. So,
Oh, okay.
So then she was talking about what'd you say?
I didn't plug this in.
Oh, she was talking about you threw me off.
About the dating.
Oh, the dating.
Uh-huh.
And about don't want a guy that's close to his ex. So she says if you too close to your
I
ex.
think she thought about that Michael B. Jordan.
Well, that's
thing.
what I'm thinking of, because people kept saying he was close to his ex.
Yes.
So she was saying she don't want to date nobody that's too close to their ex.
How would you know if somebody's close to their ex?
I guess if you talk to them all the time or something.
What if
so
they
that
have kids?
Well, Charlamagne said if they have kids, and then Angela Lee said she don't think she's talking about people with kids. She's talking about if you don't have any kids, are you really?
There'd be no reason then.
Well, that's the question we asking everybody out there.
Ooh.
Do you still? Because I still was talking to recently to my ex-husband, and his wife don't know. And he said if she knew, we don't say names, Ma. She said if she knew, then she might not like it. So there might be a lot of women who don't like
talking to your ex.
Yeah, saying who your ex is. My mother chiming in like she want to be part of the show. Are you part of the Woods Report?
No, don't say names.
She be chiming in the background like she part
say
of the...
like John.
Yeah.
Like Simone.
We can say we was looking at some people's pictures. Oh, yeah, such and such and such and such.
I say, but you stop throwing names out.
All right, well, anyway.
Okay.
All right, so I'll basically throw that question out. Do you mind if your ex is still in talk, is close to, do you mind if your person who you talking to is still close to their ex still talks to them?
And these are no kids.
And they don't have no kids involved.
So that's to make you go, you know what? They did talk about this kind of on The View. Because Sarah and them was saying that, well, no, they had kids.
All right, so anyway.
Because they were saying if the person is just a friend,
right,
you're in a friend zone, are you okay with that friend zone? Do you trust that friend zone to stay a friend zone?
But that's different than an ex.
No,
that's a different question.
His ex.
Oh,
but he's still friends.
But that's different.
Because they made the decision that friendship is all they can do.
Right, but
they can't go any further.
But that's different than friends. If you somebody's friend and then they with somebody, that's another question. Do you mind your person you with being friends with the opposite sex? But this is somebody who's an actual ex. Like they actually dated them,
and they're friends with them.
They still friends.
That's what I was saying.
But they have a romantic past. It's not just a friend.
No, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that was an example.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But to me, that's different.
But it's kind of sticky though.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, that's different than if you meet a guy and he has a girl that's a friend of his that they friends. That's different.
That's hard because you know why? Sometimes the breakup is not bad.
Right, that's right.
So you can't assume the breakup with that ex is so bad that they're not even talking.
But do you mind if they're close? That Angela Yee said she's
considered close.
Right, Angela Yee said she don't mind if it's cordial. Y'all could be cordial,
but not close.
Close is why you, because I guess they were saying, well, Lori Harvey on the show, she was saying, why are you still, like, if y'all that close, why y'all break up? If y'all still talking like that all the time, what's the purpose of breaking up with them? Yeah. And then she was saying, do you mind if the shoe is on the other foot? Because most guys wouldn't want you to still be
not
good friends with a guy
boyfriend.
So if one's good for the goose, is good for the gander, what they say.
Okay.
So they talked about that, and she talked about giving herself freedom because she's not the same person when she's 21 that she is. I think 28. Maybe she is about 28.
Okay.
And Charlamagne jumped in. Yeah, Charlamagne said that we need to give the stages in our life grace. Because a lot of times we'll look back and say, dang, I was stupid, or I shouldn't have did it. He said, but that's what, at that time, you was at that time, that's where you were mentally. So he was saying that people need to learn how to give themselves grace at whatever period of time that whatever that they was going through or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's true. Don't beat up on yourself when you was in your 20s, because that was your time to be in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you look back now in retrospect and go, why was I so stupid? Now you beat up on yourself,
but you're still making the same dumb mistake.
Well, yeah. We talking about growing. So
hopefully what is growing, that's the thing. That you are moved on from that. So hopefully.
That you matured. So
you shouldn't be able to beat yourself.
So then they talked about Wendy Williams. Of course, Wendy Williams is all out.
They were hot today.
She keeps saying that she's back. She released a new statement saying she's back. And obviously she's not all there.
Podcast or something?
I don't know. But she's not all there.
Is she still saying she's
not
married?
All there. I don't know. But Charlamagne said he wished people would stop interviewing her and putting cameras in her face because she's not well.
She heals.
And he was just saying that until she's 100%. And what they doing is they're helping the bank and all these other people keep her money. Because every time we see her, she kind of looking goofy. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason for them not to give her money. They saying they're not giving it to her. Goofy. They saying they're not giving it to her because she's not in the right mind. So they not helping by doing this.
They proving it. Proving that.
And he said, and these are people who say they love her. So if you really
alone,
let her really love her, just leave her alone.
Let her heal. Okay.
So Young Miami, part of the City Girls. Yeah, the City Girls. We talked about them before. The City Girls.
Well, they're known as the City Girls, but they have their own name.
Yeah. So her stage name is Young Miami. Mm-hmm. She has a show that comes on, a talk show.
By herself?
And she has guests that come on. Uh-oh. And this episode is going to be her bandmate JT and Saucy Santana. Now we talked about Saucy Santana, the guy who dresses like a woman, or he has a beard and all of that, but he still dresses like a woman. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how Beyonce's daughter hair was made.
Oh, that's the one?
That's the one. And I went off on him because I said, how he talking about somebody with his ugly self?
He dresses like a woman?
Yeah, a lot of guys do that.
No, I don't know a lot of guys do that.
It's a lot of guys on television now. It's before it used to be where you didn't hardly see it, but now it's a lot of guys.
Is that considered drag?
No, because they still have a beard and stuff, and it's a lot of guys, especially in Atlanta. It's big in Atlanta. Okay. So my sister don't watch normal TV. She watched like the 70s shows and stuff like that.
No, but
regular TV, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Audience,
you see it all the time.
Do we see a lot of men on TV?
All the time.
Like what's his name? What's the black guy?
It's all the time.
Is that like how he dressed?
Who?
The skirt that he had on? No, not RuPaul.
That's drag.
No, not RuPaul drag. It was they cracked on him when he was at the award show. He played Blade.
Oh, I don't know.
He played Blade.
Oh, you're talking about Wesley
I don't know.
Snipes?
I said Blade.
No, Wesley Snipes.
No,
that's not the same. These are guys. Wesley Snipes was being a fashionable thing.
Oh, okay.
These are guys who actually wear high heels and makeup and eyelashes and all kind of stuff. But they still they look like men, but they dress like women. It's a lot of it on television. So I know y'all getting bored with me talking about it, but it's probably like Funky Dineva. It's a lot of them we could talk about that's on television that do that.
They must not be on the shows that I watch.
That's what I'm
those
saying.
Award shows. Wouldn't they be on that?
Yeah, Saucy Santana's on the award show. He was on the BET Awards.
No, he wasn't dressed like a woman.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying I didn't know. Because when he was on that, if he was on that show, I missed him dressed like a woman.
Okay.
So
They don't dress in drag. They wear female stuff. Okay. Like even on
Will Smith's son?
When he wore that, like that, but even more than that. Like even on Atlanta Housewives. How their makeup artists and stuff, they have purses and bags and they wear high heel shoes. They wear the same shoes that Phaedra was wearing. But they men. They don't. It's not drag.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you use that as an example. That helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not drag. It's not like
I'm so.
Yeah, it's not like.
But that helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why when you said drag, it's not drag.
And then you're right. It's not.
And it's not what Wesley Snipes
wearing
did.
Female items.
And nails and eyelashes and all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Miami had her show. She's friends with Saucy Santana.
Okay.
So he's on her latest show, him and JT. Then they talked about Missy Elliott is getting a street named after her in her hometown, Portsmouth, Virginia. A lot of famous people. A lot of famous people they were saying came from Portsmouth. Allen Iverson. They was naming a whole bunch of people. So for her to get a street named after her, I guess is a really big deal.
Good.
Because it's a lot of famous people that come from
her city. Mm-hmm. Okay.
They talked about Busta Rhymes getting a BMI award.
Okay.
And Charlamagne, he didn't even know. He said, "What is BMI? Is that a new award?" He don't know what BMI
What is
None
BMI?
of us do. I don't know either. But apparently, it's a big award that Busta Rhymes is getting it for hip hop. So they was talking about that.
We don't know it.
Right.
It's not big.
Well, let me see your phone. We can Google and see what is BMI award. Turn it on.
Black
See
music
what is
industry.
Probably Black music industry or something something.
What is the BMI awards?
Awards frequently mentioned on the web include BMI Awards and BMI Film and TV Awards.
Does it say?
Here, you good with that?
BMI Awards, Broadcast Music Incorporated.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah,
Broadcast
Music Incorporated. It's big.
And how do you win it?
Well, you get nominated. So he got nominated, and so he won.
Okay.
So apparently it's big. Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, you know him, who passed away.
Yeah.
They gave him a star on the Hall
You're
of Fame.
kidding.
So his family will be there in honor of that.
And what is the criteria for that, I wonder?
Well, you have to put your name in, and then they vote, I guess,
Okay.
on whatever.
Okay.
And then he also had a train station in his neighborhood named after him.
What's this neighborhood?
Somewhere in California.
Wow.
Like the Watts. Y'all know.
So he was really involved.
Yeah. With helping to build his neighborhood up
That's
and stuff
nice.
like that.
He'll be missed.
Then they was talking about the rapper G Herbo.
Ooh, never heard of
He
that
goes off on a man who runs up on him. He was holding his child. And the guy was trying to be funny and all this other stuff and threaten him or whatever. And they was talking about how G Herbo was going off on him. And Charlamagne and Envy was saying people don't get enough with trying to go viral.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they doing. They trying to make you do something so that they can get it on film and get you hitting them or something.
You think that's what they tried to do on the plane with messing with Mike Tyson?
Yep.
Throwing a bottle at him.
They always trying to do something to make these celebrities go off.
Stuff, yeah.
And then when they go off and pop them in their nose,
suing them.
then they going to sue them.
He hurt my neck.
See? They talked about, this is the first day of the Kobe Bryant, his wife, is suing L.A. County because the first responders, they was showing pictures of her husband,
the whole crash,
and her daughter, and so they was talking about how this is the first day of the lawsuit.
I wonder what they win with that one.
I don't know. We don't know. It's an undisclosed amount of what she's suing for. Okay. But they was talking about one of them. She broke down crying in the courtroom because of testimony. This one responder, he was trying to get his wife to look at the pictures, and his wife didn't want to look at them. And he said it was a pile of meat. And she broke down crying because he was pretty much describing her daughter and her husband as a pile of meat.
Why would he even?
And why would anybody even want to see a picture like that?
Yes. Hopefully.
And they was talking about how people wanted to see the pictures
of a dead Kobe crash.
People want to see. If you put something on,
squish finger.
If you put something online right now and say "do not open," people will open.
Yes.
It's stuff on TikTok now that they say "do not go," "don't look at this," and people go and Google it and go, "I should have never looked at that."
Why
that's gonna stay in my head for the rest? Yeah.
They allow gross pictures like that to be on?
Well, it's the internet, so you can't take everything off the internet.
They have some limitations.
Like internet is worldwide internet. You can put anything on the internet. Now, YouTube, they can take it off.
So the certain platforms.
No,
Facebook.
Internet. No, the platforms, yeah, you can take stuff
TikTok,
off of, okay. But if you go to the internet, you can see anything on the internet.
Yeah.
So then he gave his donkey of the day.
Okay.
Apparently, people are going around and killing monkeys because of the monkeypox. The World Health Organization had to put out.
Do they know what kind of monkey?
People don't know.
They just killing any kind of monkey.
People are stupid.
Try to kill a gorilla. Let's see if you will make it out of that one.
The World Health Organization had to put out a press release because they're concerned about the death, the numbers of death of monkeys.
Well,
people are poisoning them because they believe that monkeypox is coming from monkeys.
But remember when Orange Nixon said something about the COVID?
Called it the China. Yeah.
How many Asian people were being beat up?
So that tells you that people are stupid.
Oh my God.
And that kind of goes along the lines of what you said before when you was talking about, Joyce said they call it monkeypox. People are stupid.
Yeah.
They think it's coming from monkeys.
Well,
because it's called monkeypox.
That was one of the reasons why she said, why we have to call it that. Because people will take to heart the name.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And that's what they're doing.
So they're killing monkeys.
They're killing monkeys. So that's a press release went out by the World Health Organization.
Isn't that scary if people in the world, in this country, in the world, are that feeble-minded, that weak?
Yeah, they weird.
That this is really scary if certain things pop off where a war can start. That's the crazy that happened on January 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So then they're talking about, Angela Lee brought up about gas prices are going down.
So she's still on there.
She'll be on there for a while until they migrate her out.
Okay. Okay.
Gas prices are going down, but food prices are going up.
Yeah, inflation.
And we all know because of world events, Ukraine with the wheat, animals eat wheat. That's how you get your meat and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And then the weather. A lot of stuff is going on with the weather, which is messing up a lot of the food. So go to our station. We call it the Peaceful Prepper. We have a Peaceful Prepper station.
Yeah.
If y'all go to our channels, other channels that we have,
talks about
we have a
all
whole
of that.
channel devoted to food and food preservation and all kind of stuff and water and survival.
Speaking of food,
so it's funny how she mentioned that, and we have a prepper station.
Speaking of food, you had texted me this morning saying that Chick-Fil-A is now serving hamburgers.
They said that Chick-Fil-A now has hamburgers.
Really?
So I was like, okay, well, let's do
I'm
a taste.
thinking they on the top of their game. With
And the
just
person
chicken.
said it was good. They said it was up there, like a really good burger.
Now they got to change their commercials. The commercials showed the chicken was like,
and then the whole tagline was saving cows.
So, what made them reach out?
But I don't know. Until I go and see for myself, to me, it's the rumor.
Okay.
And Arby's, we ate their hamburger and it was good.
Arby's is selling so many meat.
But they hamburger
have
was good.
the beef.
It was real beef. It was 100% beef.
The beef is good. The gyro, unless they changed that gyro,
wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
No. But the hamburger was good.
Okay.
FBI director. This has been on the news.
He spoke. Her dude was like.
Concerned about the threat.
Come on, you guys.
Against the FBI agents. Trumpster.
Yes, Trumpsters. And Fox News
He
people.
was a Trumpster. The one I just saw on the news.
What?
They got him. That went in and tried
to
Ohio to go up there and shoot and all this.
What is wrong with
he left a note behind to the Trump organization or something like that.
Oh,
so he was obviously up there for that reason.
Oh my God.
So, and now I think, didn't Trump say something about he believed they planted something? So now if anything is found, it's because he says, because the FBI, it couldn't be because it was actually there. It's because it was planted.
They lied on him. They planted it, like the O.J. Simpson.
Now here's my issue with that, and I don't have a problem with you saying that, because we say all the time that things get planted
right.
on black people, but the same people who are Blue Lives Matter and all this other stuff, and we pro-America, and you mad at kneeling during the whatever.
Star Spangled Banner.
You mad at people who don't support the blue, and mad at the people who don't support the military. If Comb Over has an issue with any of those organizations, then you have a problem with those organizations.
See? That man can say anything.
I think that's a problem with you.
That's dictator.
That's a problem with you.
That's dictator.
That means that you are an idiot.
Yes.
Because you cannot see this man for who he is. You can still like his policy.
Yes.
Can we
separate the two?
Can we separate?
Because we made money off the homeboy when he was president.
His policy.
Yeah.
And liking the bills or the things that he signs.
He passes things.
But understand, he's an a-hole.
Yes.
Can you not separate the two?
I guess they don't care. They don't care.
Then you are an idiot.
They don't care. He goes against the grain. He goes
One
against the
minute
grain.
you like the FBI. The next minute you don't because he has a problem.
Because he said it. And then the news media is fake. You agree with that?
1 minute you are like whatever. If whatever it is he likes. If he doesn't like it, you got a problem with it.
You got a problem with it. Remember how he was on?
You're an idiot.
He was on top of Obama not being a real American.
You are an idiot.
People followed him. But you know
you can like somebody's policy and not like the person.
But you know what? I'm gonna go spiritual on you guys. You know, in the Bible, if those Christians who believe in the Bible, because I know there's people of different faiths, but we're talking about Christians with Bible, the Word of God. How often does it mention in the Bible as far as sheep that we're considered sheep
he has
and lamb?
Those are sheep.
And
that follow him.
how sometimes sheep are considered stupid animals?
They're stupid.
You listen to whoever. I'm still to this day
follow somebody off.
Heard about the Guyana tragedy with Jim Jones. How many of his sheep followed him?
Thank you.
And drank we have to really start praying about our common sense, guys.
It's gone.
Oh no.
It's gone. Common sense is gone.
Oh
it's
my
gone.
God.
It's gone.
You got one man telling you what to think and how to feel.
It's gone.
Oh my goodness.
It's no more common sense.
That's sad.
And that's all, again, I say on both sides.
Both sides, yes.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Because if Biden, let's say Biden does, even with his son or whatever, well, because, now his son being railroaded. Because you like Biden.
If his son did wrong, then show the wrong. If Hillary did wrong, if Obama did wrong,
can y'all not separate? Can you not separate?
Yes.
There was kings back in the day that were a-holes.
Yes.
But some people made money and was doing good under that king.
Yes, yeah.
But let it be told, unless they speak in their
sleep, in the past.
Unless they speak in their sleep, in their mind, they was thinking, he's a nutty buddy.
Yeah. But think about it.
He's a nutty buddy.
If you go through history, how many rulers, how many dictators have caused a group of people to follow them where they kill masses of people? They don't stop and go, that's a million.
And people get mad
that you've just
and
murdered.
People get mad when you compare Trump to Hitler.
Oh.
They really do. But I bet y'all not gonna get mad when more stuff start happening.
Oh no.
If somebody can cause a group of people to go into the Capitol
and try to kill
say,
the vice president,
the vice president of the United States
and Nancy Pelosi,
and the Speaker of the House.
Oh no, that's control.
You think that's a large jump? No, he's not Hitler. Don't get me wrong.
Oh God,
he is far from Hitler.
Yeah, I think nobody has.
But do y'all not see seeds?
Planted.
Do y'all not see seeds?
That's why he likes Putin.
Do y'all not see that?
He loves control. He loves people to follow him and listen to him. And he does play with the media. He plays because he knows.
So don't think that's a far jump for people to say. It's not. It's seeds.
So
you start by saying, I didn't like this. I like this person, but because he doesn't like them, now I don't like them.
I don't like them.
Or I like this group, but because he doesn't like them anymore, I don't like them.
Right.
Or because he says they're lying, I think they're lying. Or because he says, they said, it was this one lady they interviewed, I kid you not, she was on Fox News.
Oh no.
A lady. They was at a Trump rally or something.
Okay. Oh God.
And
you're gonna
she
get all
believes
kinds of people from
that the satellite that was sent up into the air somehow had something to do with manipulating the system, and that's why Biden won. She really believes that. And here's the thing. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it's true.
Okay.
Who told you that?
Oh, you saying where the Orange Nixon?
Where'd it come from?
Did Orange Nixon say that?
Did a scientist say it? Did somebody with any kind of credibility say it? Or is it because Comb Over told you that?
Why you Comb Over?
Y'all gotta stop with this. It just get on my nerves, and it's on both sides. You say something negative about Obama or about it with black people. You say something, one thing negative about Obama, and all of a sudden you're not black. You a sellout. You a Uncle Tom. You a this. And you a that.
It may be true. It may be true, but yet you said it about him like. Don't you talk about Miss Jenkins. That remind me of Miss
the Wayans brothers. Oh, don't you say nothing about Miss
Don't
Jenkins.
say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins.
Don't you say nothing about Miss Jenkins. That's what it remind me of. That neighborhood old lady that the Wayans brothers was making fun of.
Yes. Okay.
Don't talk about that. Don't talk bad about Miss Jenkins.
Society. So yeah, when
I love me some Miss Jenkins. I love Miss
Jenkins.
That's how they are.
Yeah, the FBI, he had to come and clarify some things. They had to put a disclaimer up. We for the people. What is wrong with you guys? Yeah, I know he wanted to cuss. I know he wanted to just tell people off like, what the?
Law enforcement.
Oh my God. That we're sneaking around.
You will call.
Conspiracy.
Hold on. You will call if it's trafficking. Anything that goes over more than one state. FBI
gets in.
Not your local police officers.
Right. They go.
So when you are saying that they're lying and that they are not good, you're saying law enforcement is lying. Now, am I going, as a black person in this country, are we going to stand up and go, oh, no, you're. We've been telling y'all that there needs to be some changes in these organizations from the head top on down.
Okay.
But because Comb Over is telling you now you got a problem with it. Yeah. That's why I have an issue with.
But keep in mind, and we've gone through this before, and then we can move on after this. We said, and you call him Comb Over?
Either Comb Over or Orange Nixon. Which one y'all want?
He knows how to play the game with how people are gullible.
He know people are stupid.
He knows that. So he can get on that microphone.
I don't say gullible. I say y'all stupid.
Well, he gets on the microphone and he can say whatever he wants them to believe.
And they will believe it.
He knows that. That's sad when you know it.
Then y'all gonna say that's don't compare him to Hitler. That's a far jump. That's a far jump comparing him to Hitler.
It is.
No, it's not. It's a seed.
Say as far as comparison. No, it's not.
No, he's not Hitler.
No. Be very clear on that because we know what Hitler did.
But we said I'm talking about when people complain about saying
I know
it's a far jump.
It's a seed.
It's not a far jump. It's not. Because whenever you got a bunch of people rushing the Capitol to kill the Vice President of the United States, it's not a far jump.
So keep feeding that. Keep feeding that. The numbers will grow.
It's a seed.
All he has to do.
How do you think he started? You think he started off by saying, let's just go ahead and demolish a whole race of people? He didn't start off like that.
Remember in the movie Malcolm X, when they were showing in the movie the police officer and the chief of police and them were looking out the window at Malcolm when all of them had marched, all the Islamic men had marched down and got in the line. Yeah. All he had to do was do his fingers.
He said no black man should have that much power.
Or whatever he did with his hand.
Right.
And they all turned and they left.
Yeah.
That's what Trump is doing.
And I said on both sides.
He's doing this.
Yeah.
And he's going.
And I said on both sides.
Go storm the Capitol. Yay!
Because the Nation of Islam was like, you get more powerful than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You need to calm that down.
Yeah, we need to tone it down because no, you can't be bigger than your leader.
Or nobody should be that big.
Yeah.
Nobody.
But he didn't realize, I don't think, the sad thing about that whole, and this is a rabbit hole for sure, he didn't use it for evil.
But it don't matter.
He didn't do it for this purpose of the comb over guy.
It don't matter.
Cause destruction just like and make
celebrities.
Him look good.
Just like celebrities. They have millions of followers. Yeah. Like Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, the
and Nicki Minaj.
Eat you alive.
And it doesn't have anything to do. I'm not saying that Beyonce is like, I'm going to rule the world with the beehive. No. But she understands the importance of what she says. Yes. Because she has millions of people who will follow her. Yeah. If she goes online and says, I hate such and such, all of a sudden, a million or so people are going to hate that person because she hates that person.
And some of them will probably go beyond that
and try to hurt them.
The extreme.
Exactly.
And hurt them.
Which is what this nut job did. Yeah. He's not saying all Trumpsters are going to go and do that. Right. But he's a nut job he's an extreme. Yeah. And you don't know what your crowd is going to do. That's why you have to watch what you say.
But again,
but he don't care.
Comb over don't care. Yeah.
Comb over don't care.
That's funny how you call him that.
That's why I have a problem with that.
He used to do that all the time when she would tease him.
He don't care. Beyonce cares. That's why they don't say anything. And he says anything that comes out of his mouth. So y'all need to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
All right, so then
we was on that one for a while.
You got me upset about that comb over because it's FBI. Now they got to fear for their life because he's saying somebody planning something, like he all that. Like they got to plant something on him.
He knows people are believing him. So what can you say about it?
Anyway,
shut him
That's
down.
why that man, like you said, I saw him. He looked like he wanted to cuss.
Really?
He looked like he wanted to do what I'm doing right now.
Mad.
He looked like he wanted to yell like I'm doing right now. Like, what is wrong with you people?
Conspiracy against the FBI.
We doing all of this to plant something on this nut job.
Yeah, we out of all the people in this world, we gonna come after him.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
All right. Now my people got to fear for their life. I know he wanted to cuss. I know he wanted to yell. I know he did.
Yeah, I felt his pain.
And I know a lot of other police officers and FBI agents want to get online and yell and say, what is wrong with you people?
Yes, America, we're losing it.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
All right.
What else?
Just separate it. All right. All right, Will Packer, the producer, black guy producer, who produced the Academy Awards that Will Smith went up and smacked.
Black guy, yes.
All right.
What's he doing?
He has a movie coming out. We've seen the previews. Him and Idris, that one called The Beast.
Oh, that's his?
That's his movie.
Ooh,
that he did with Idris Elba.
Okay, with the two girls, his daughters.
And so Envy, with his dumb self, he said, all y'all was doing was
Why you had to say
because he's stupid. Well, Will came back. Hold on. All y'all was doing was pushing Howard University. Howard, he said, what? What are you talking about? He said, this is not the BET. He's thinking of Taraji. Remember Taraji pushed Howard at the BET Awards.
Yes.
He said, man, it's the Oscars. We wasn't pushing no Howard University. He said, I'm not even from Howard. He said, I went to FAMU.
See, when you sometimes vocal and you can be so...
That's why I say
it's foot in your mouth.
So then,
foot in mouth.
He said, and to be honest with you, my whole team was black. Mm-hmm. And they all came from HBCU.
Yes.
Somebody came from Hampton, he said. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm FAMU. Mm-hmm. There was a Howard person there. He said, we came from we was repping HBCU.
And HBCU was like a general umbrella. Right. Wherever you came from.
All right, so that knocked Envy off of that whole thing.
Okay.
But anyway, they talked about, they asked him about the slap. They had to ask him, and I know Charlamagne said, I know you're tired of talking about it, but we've never had you on here to talk about it.
So what was his take
So he just said backstage, he said when it was happening, he said Chris went off script, which is fine, because he said he's a comedian, and most comedians do go off script.
Oh, Lord.
And he said, he thought it was something between him and Will. Like they came up, like it was a joke. Like they had planted this.
That's right, he did say that.
Yeah. So he said when he came up and smacked him, he thought it was part of the joke.
Yeah.
So that's why the camera followed. Because everybody's like, why you a brother? Why you following him and going back? You know, you should have cut and went to a commercial or something. He said he thought it was a joke, so he's going to play it out.
Oh.
He didn't want to cut it off. You know, they worked at this thing.
I wonder what he would have done differently if it wasn't a joke.
He probably would have cut the camera. You know how they go boo, and then the screen go black or something.
Oh my God.
But anyway, he said they followed Will back to the thing. He said when Will started cussing, keep my wife's name up, he said that's when he knew it was real.
Oh Lord.
And he said so then
Chris, and he didn't even have to do that. The slap alone is saying that. So then when Chris went backstage, they wanted to arrest Will, the police officers and stuff, and Chris was just like, he didn't want to have nothing. He just like, let's just let it go. I want to go to the after parties and just forget like this ever happened. So he was trying to, said they didn't show Will at the after parties having fun.
So they said that
I would have went home.
So Will Packer said that Chris was unbelievable. He was just like, they was trying to make him arrest Will, and he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Press charges and all of that. He said, I just want to leave it alone and let it go. So Will Smith better be happy that Chris Rock did not press charges against him. Mm-hmm. And so Will Packer said he was disappointed in Will because he said he would have tossed Will out. He said, but because everybody was like, well, why did you let Will stay? You know, you're the producer of the show. You could have got rid of him. He said he felt like he was going to win. He felt he was going to win Best Actor. Mm-hmm. And he said when he wins, he thought he was gonna get up there and apologize to Chris.
Oh, he thought
and
that
he
would
did.
be his moment.
He said that. He said, and I thought it wouldn't make it better, but at least it'll put some kind of Band-Aid on it or something.
Yeah.
You know, like ended by saying, I'm sorry, I should have never did that. Will never did that. He said he
that
was
would have
disappointed.
been a good moment. Think about it.
And apologize to Questlove then.
You know what, you guys, I'm really sorry.
Yeah. And apologize to Quest.
Apologize
to, you know.
That
but
is
he
not
didn't.
me, you guys.
He didn't. He took the
and
the
I will
other
be
road.
talking to Chris after this, but
Yeah.
everybody would have probably respected that.
But
they
didn't.
was mad too at the audience.
Yeah, the audience, yeah. Yeah, because he cried.
I would have just sat down.
Not everybody. Some people wasn't laughing or, you know,
if they
clapping.
all would have just sat down.
They didn't.
But
you know what? It's a moment in time.
Wow.
You don't know what you would do, I guess.
Well, hopefully
I don't
people
know.
will replay this and go, I won't do that again.
When they asked
I won't
Idris,
condone that.
Charlamagne asked Idris, what would he do? Because you know Idris loved his wife. Idris is my other husband. He's fake husband. He has a real wife. Yeah, he has a real wife that he loves. We happy about that. Mm-hmm. We are in an open relationship, so he could have a wife.
Date,
but I'm married to a lot of other people too.
Yeah,
so
you got 3 husbands.
It's an open, Okay. You can have more than one husband. Mm-hmm. So
not really.
They was asking him.
It's called a bigotry.
Well, in our mind, we can.
But not could be. What's the word?
Polygamy or something?
Polygamy. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Charlamagne asked Idris what would he do, because Idris loved his wife, and he always talking about his wife. Mm-hmm. So he said he don't think he would do that, but you don't really know what you would do in that time. He said he would have just met him backstage.
Right. I don't think Idris has that in his character to go.
He
on the
said
stage
he
in front of
thought
somebody.
he said he wouldn't do it because he wouldn't want to mess up the night for Will and all the other people.
I'll get you
but
later,
he said
man.
I don't want to say that I wouldn't do it. He said because you don't know what you would do in that time. That's what he said.
That's true.
Anyway, so then they talked about they went back to they talked about when Idris came in late because he was Will was already there being interviewed, and Idris came in and sat down to be interviewed.
For what?
On the Breakfast Club. Will Packer was there, the producer of the movie, The Beast.
Oh, okay.
And then Idris came in.
Did they do it together or they did it separate?
They did it together.
Okay.
But Idris came in later. So they were saying he was late because he had to get COVID testing. Before you come in the building, they have to test you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Idris came in, and of course, that started off him having COVID because he was one of the first black people famous that had COVID.
Yeah,
so he was saying, I had COVID 101, just like how we had COVID.
We had it 101.
We had COVID 101 when nobody knew. He said, when I had it, it was leprosy.
Yeah, nobody wanted to touch
Nobody wanted to touch you. You had to be
quarantined. We had no choice to be quarantined. They didn't want to be around.
So when he came out and said he had it, they said that helped a lot of people start to say, okay, well, if Idris could have it, then okay, maybe it's not,
It's not so bad.
So he said that was the first one to come out to say it. He said he probably wasn't the first to have it, but the first to publicly say it.
Yeah.
He was the first black person, black actor,
entertainer,
famous person.
Okay.
And he was, because I remember that when Idris had it.
Yep.
And he said his wife wasn't even there, and she came home, and he told her not to come home, and she still came. Like the person I told, my dude.
Okay.
I told him, come over here, and he still came over there.
Okay.
So,
but she didn't catch it, though, did she?
No, she did.
She did?
Yeah, but they fine.
Okay.
So then they talked about how, the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, they went back to start talking about the movie.
Wow.
And
where did they get this line
now he
from?
said this movie idea is parallel, kind of like both of them have, the Idris and the lion are parallel in this movie. Their lives, similar. He said the lion is the beast. That's the one that's trying to kill them.
Right.
And it's a huge lion. It's bigger than life.
Than a normal lion.
Yeah, and Will said he studied and he wanted it to have some truth to it.
Yeah.
So he said there are people who go and they poacher. They go and they break up these lion tribes. And when you do that, you separate the king lion from all of his queens and cubs, and he has to be by himself, and he has to roam.
Fends for himself.
And then what he does is he looks for another herd, and he pretty much going to be killed because when he comes to another herd, those kings are going to be like, man, we're going to kill
Get out
you.
of here. Yeah.
And lions will eat you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. They'll eat another lion.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that till I started watching YouTube.
Yeah, they eat another lion.
I didn't know that because some animals don't eat each other.
Oh, yeah.
They'll kill it, but they won't eat it. A lion will eat a lion.
Okay.
And they show how they kill each other. So these lions that roam, they looking for another another
area to
another clan or whatever they call them, to take over, and these other lions kill them because it's usually more than one male in there.
Was he killing all of them?
So what happened was they were saying there's somewhat truth to this because he was a lion that was separated. Humans came and messed up his whole thing and killed his family, the lions and all of that, and left him on his own to roam. So when he don't like humans.
Ooh.
So when Idris came with his daughters, because it was Idris and his wife had just passed away apparently,
right? And
I guess he took them on this safari to get away, and there was no phones or nothing. They couldn't even use their cell phones, so they was mad because they couldn't get on the internet, and he was trying to reconnect with his daughters,
right?
And that's what happened. That lion wanted to kill all of them. He was mad.
Okay. Because humans killed his family.
So he was after. He was a beast.
So he was vindictive.
He's a beast, Dallas. He's a beast. Like on the honeymooners. So he was a beast.
So they talked a little bit about the movie.
Talked about that. Okay. Talked about going to see it.
Okay.
Beautiful scenes of Africa.
What part of Africa were they in?
I don't know. I didn't think they even said it. Did they say it? But it was shot there and it was shot in Atlanta and stuff like that.
Okay.
So Will Packer, the producer, he was saying, yeah, sometimes we have to go to these beautiful places. And then Idris jumped in and said, you, I didn't see you. We was out there in the bush. Then they started laughing, and then Will was like, "It's my movie." He said, "You said we got to go out." Right. I was the one in the water shivering and all that, and he said, "Oh yeah, because you was complaining about it being cold." They was playing. They friends with each other.
Okay.
Because this is like the 6th movie that Idris has been in that Will has produced, and directed.
I didn't know that.
So apparently that brought them on with him talking about him being a punk. Idris said there was bats there, and apparently he's scared of bats.
Ooh.
And apparently he went into a hotel or something, and there was a bat in the shower in the corner.
No.
And him and his wife came in the bathroom, and he said he saw the bat, and he opened the door and ran. So Charlamagne and them said, "Hold on,
you left your wife there?
You an action hero and all this other stuff."
His wife said, I'll get it.
And we pushing for you to play 007. 007 wouldn't run from a bat. And Idris was like, that's not. He said, that's what you said. You said the bat was in the corner, and then you saw it, and you opened the door and ran. He said, I was opening the door for both of us. He said, that's not what you said. Was your wife in front of you? And Idris said, what would you? He said, I would have protected my wife and pushed her out. And Envy said, I would have pushed my wife. He said, oh yeah, everybody says that until it happens. That's what Idris said. And then Will said, no, I would have protected my wife. They was all going on against him. Talking about
you. Know he left us standing
and then at the end, after they talked about this, they said, Charlamagne said, what do you want us to get out of this movie? And then Idris said, a father who protects his family. And Charlamagne said, hold on for a second. Maybe you shouldn't be the one to speak about what we should get out of this movie. So they was on him the whole show. And then Idris, I should have never told that story.
You should have never said nothing. If you're going to tell the story, tell it where you look like you're on top. Like my wife and I saw the bat, and I said, come on, baby. And I grabbed her.
Opened the door and ran. He said, I opened the door.
I can see his wife.
He said, but you ran first.
His wife's still standing there looking at the bat.
So then, Angela, you said that should be your next movie.
Oh,
it should be Idris and his wife, whatever, going to, and then he leaves her, and the bat bites her, and she turns into a vampire.
Yes,
and kills him.
And comes and gets him.
Or chases him through the whole movie.
Yes.
So you left me.
You left me there, and the bat bit me.
So they messed with him. They messed with him the whole rest of the interview on
never
that.
Said that.
I should have never told that.
Oh, that messed him up.
So he opened
that superhero running from a bat in the hotel.
And he's supposed to be 007.
Oh,
and then Charlamagne said, are you going to be double or Envy asked him, you going to be, he said, I don't know where that rumor. He said, I don't know where that rumor came from. He said, I never said I was double. He said, people keep saying they want to see
want him to be.
And then Charlamagne said, I don't know now after that backstory.
Because we're not going to feel it. When we see you in action, we're going gonna go, I hope they ain't got a bat in there. Because
he said, what do you want us to get out of this movie?
Oh,
a man who protects his family. He said, you protect him from a lion, but not a bat.
Not a bat.
And then, Idris said, I don't like bats.
I'll kill a lion, but I won't kill a bat. That's funny.
So I thought that was funny. So that was the end of it. That was we went long.
That was a good one.
So that was it. That's the end of the Breakfast Club, y'all. Okay. You had anything else?
Our superhero scared of bats.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
All right, y'all. So that was
a good laugh.
Another Woods Report. See you later.